When you have your legs on the chair, you don't have to have it backwards. I do that because this is a weird yoga chair and it works this way fine. Um, just make sure that you're not holding your legs, like you're not doing an effortful pose. We want to be as if we were in Shavasana or, hanging out on the couch in the most comfortable position possible, not on the cushion where the springs are popping up. And you can just give yourself a nice inhale and maybe sigh it out. Exhale. Full breath in and out. Just arriving right here on your mat. And as you're breathing, I'll share this story from the Good News email. Residents of the Two Life Senior Community in Brighton, Massachusetts have a new pep in their step, thanks to James Humphreys. The 25-year-old is a front desk ambassador, and last year noticed that many of the seniors wore worn-out shoes that in some cases were several sizes too big. Humphreys worried they might trip and fall, and was especially concerned about a resident who is partially blind and only speaks Haitian Creole. It took him months to earn the man's trust, and once he learned his shoe size, Humphreys brought him a pair of blue suede New Balance sneakers he had at home that were the perfect fit. When a colleague heard what he did, she gave Humphreys the number of a contact she had at New Balance. The person no longer worked at the company, but the people that were so gracious, and there was a domino effect of references until I landed in the right hands. They generously offered to donate 20 pair of shoes with the help of the resident service coordinators. We were able to fulfill the order with residents we felt needed them most. Being able to help others is the most rewarding and gratifying act of life, Humphreys said. We have all been in a place where we need someone to reach their hand out and say, I got you. I want to be that person for others whenever possible. So you might bring your awareness to your feet. Grateful for your toes, your arches, the soles of your feet, your heels, and the tops of your feet. Grateful for the shoes that you have. Grateful for walking and for stillness. Grateful for standing and for taking a load off like we are right now with legs on the chair. For the next minute or so, imagine that you're breathing in through the soles of your feet, filling up your body. You can release that and just breathe in and breathe out. Feel the support of the earth, your mat, your pillow, your chair. Bring your hands to touch at your heart center. When we do this gesture a lot, try not, and I'm speaking to myself as I say this, try not to let it just become a habit, blah, 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 here, hands at heart center. Really notice it's a gesture of gratitude or prayer. And feel the connection of your fingers, your thumbs, your palms, and the energy of your heart space, your home of compassion and kindness, giving and receiving love. And from our hearts outward, let's send something good out to someone or some place, some extra love, care, prayers for this world to find some healing. Release your arms wherever you'd like, Shavasana shape, or maybe into a T if you feel like spreading out a little bit. And in honor of our feet, let's just move them a little bit. You can circle the ankles or just move the feet any way. We'll go to toes, scrunching and spreading out the toes. And let's try opposites. Scrunch right toes, spread out the left. And then switch. My fingers really want to help. And switch, scrunching one side, spreading out the other. Don't forget to breathe. Spread all the toes. Let your toes relax. Try to take your big toes that way. So away from the other toes. Woo! And then switch. Draw the big toes toward you and the other toes away. And switch. One more time. We're going to move the ankles dorsiflexion. So heels are down, toes are toward the sky. Have your feet just a couple inches apart. This one is very tricky, but you're just going to try. You can look at the toes. If you can see them, that might be helpful. Think about the big toes coming toward one another. Not forward or back, but toward one another. So they're moving horizontally away from the other toes. It may or may not happen. And then release. If you have room, point and flex. Just moving at the ankles. And let's turn feet out and in. Notice this movement comes all the way from the hips. Feet turn out and in. And let your feet rest. Arms in any position. Let's begin with a teeny tiny turn of the head. Small little turn to the left and the right. Increase the distance if you would like. Find your end range today if you would like. You can stay with the tiny movement if that feels better. One more each way. Head is heavy. Come back to center. Breathe in. Breathe out. Arms by your side. One arm up and over. And back down. Other arm up and over. Back down. Any amount. Single arms, or any time you would like to throw in both arms at the same time, feel free to do that. A few more times. Loving on your shoulder joint. Thank you, shoulders. Pause. Arms anywhere you'd like. Add a tiny smile onto your face. Let's focus on the breath for a whole minute. Bring your arms into the cactus shape. Rotate from your hip joint, forearms, not from your hip, oh my goodness, from your shoulder joint. Palms toward the ground, and then open back up. Thank goodness you've practiced with me for a while and you know that your arms are not moving from your hip joint. Notice what the truthful movement is. For me, when the palms go down, this is internal rotation of your shoulder. My palms are nowhere near the ground. I can get them there, but then the shoulders lift off the ground. Nothing wrong with that. But see if you leave shoulders down, what your actual range is today. Pause in the open position, external rotation of your shoulders. If this is too much, take your arms in a T. You can leave your head in neutral or turn to one side and pause. Through center and to the other side. Back to center. Thread the needle, left leg on top. You can use your chair any way that you want. You can leave the right leg relaxed on the seat of the chair. You can bend toward the body, drawing the right leg in, using your foot on part of the chair. If you have a chair rung that's available, you could even straighten the right leg up toward the sky. Remember to play. Remember to explore. And remember to breathe. Full breath in and perhaps open mouth exhale. Again, full breath in, open mouth exhale. One more time. Switching sides. Switching sides. Explore. What does this side need? It doesn't have to be the same exact way. Three times if you'd like. Big breath in, open mouth, audible exhale. Release. And take both legs up into the sky. Add your arms, resting bug. If your chair is available, you can use it for support of the legs. Circle your ankles and your wrists. Switch direction. Legs and arms out and back together. Any amount, out and back together. If you're feeling rebellious today, consider crossing the midline. What? Legs can crisscross. It's a hint. Arms can crisscross. It's a hint into the future. A few minutes from now. One more time. And release. I'm going to take starfish right here. If your chair is in the way, be as gentle as you can to move it out of the way. I'm just going to go around the chair with my legs. Your arms can reach up and over. We just pause here, taking up space. I'm going to scoot it out a little bit. Again, you might breathe through the soles of your feet, breathing in, filling up your whole body. Imagine the breath coming out of the crown of your head and going all the way back around your body, back to the feet. Inhale in through the soles, out the crown of your head around your body. Three more cycles of breath right here. Move as gently as possible to get your chair out of the way. If you need to roll to the side and come up and completely remove it, that's fine. Just try not to fling yourself around. You may have your legs bent for this next part, feet on the ground. You might like legs straight with dorsiflexion, so toes toward the sky, heels down. That's a very active leg. Or you might like Shavasana legs. Feel free to change at any time, or take the arms up into the sky, palms toward the sky, and we turn from the shoulder joint. The arms turn clockwise, counterclockwise. Any amount. Obviously, the forearms can do it like you're waving, but think about all the way to the ha-ha humerus where it meets your shoulder. Couple more times. My forearms totally feel this. Okay, roll out your wrists. Delicate, gentle. And set up again, palms toward the sky, pushing the sky. And then elbows bend, arms draw in close to the rib cage. We're doing a push-up. Forearms and upper arms come down. Then we push back up. You can use as much or as little resistance as you want. Drawing down and pushing up. If you have one of your pillows or both handy, you could certainly draw the pillow down and push up. Drawing down, pushing up, maybe changing the shape of the legs. Imagine you are pushing up a big weight or two very large French fries. We have 3 more. You can stop and rest whenever you'd like. Last one. Release your arms, let them rest. Let the legs rest. Shape of Shavasana or knees bent if that's better. Give your awareness, your attention to your breath. 1 whole minute. Bend your knees. You may hold the edges of your mat for this, or you can have your arms anywhere that they are comfortable. We cross one leg over the other and then switch. You're moving from your center. One leg, switch. And stay there, or the legs float. You do the same movement with the legs in the air. Knees are bent. You might let the legs go farther apart and then come back and cross. Strong and steady in your center. I like to press my low back down when I'm doing abdominal work. It's not the way for everybody. Sometimes having the natural curve in your low back is the way to go. Just 700 more. Breathing, breathing. Last one, each way. Release. Starfish pose. Any variation that feels good in your body. Three more breaths here before we come on to our bellies. Filling up, emptying out. Slowly bend the knees. Roll to one side. Pause in fetal pose. If you prefer, I'm going to give an option here. If you don't want to come onto your belly, You could stay in fetal pose and you'll work on open book, right? This top arm and open. You can have a twist, working on the thoracic spine, the upper back, and the chest. Otherwise, you're coming onto your belly. You can use your blanket to cushion your forehead, or use your hands, or straight down onto your mat. We will also be working and thinking about thoracic spine, upper back, chest. Take a few deep breaths here. Arms come into a wide diamond. And you lift the head, the neck, the chest, all the way from the mid-back. And then you can lower down. And you just lift and lower, but think about length the whole time. Mid-back, all the way up. You can press your feet down. You can press your pelvis down. Lifting and lowering. I'm going to do that a couple more times. And you can stack your hands. If you're in fetal pose, you may want to switch sides, rolling to the second side, so you can do open book with the other arm. On your belly, you're going to now lift from the mid-back, lifting up, lengthen, and turn your head. Come down to rest on one cheek. And we lift. We go through center and all the way to the other side. Come down to rest on one cheek. Lifting, pelvis can press down, feet press down. Turn and lower. Lifting, the upper back muscles and beyond are lifting, not just the neck. Last time each way. Of course, the head is a heavy thing to lift. Rest your forehead in the center. On your blanket or on your hands, you can waggle your hips. If you're in fetal pose, pause and rest. Bend your knees. Take your legs as wide as your mat. Remember, I said we were going to cross the midline earlier. Here we are. Crisscross, applesauce. Press the pelvis down. If you are in fetal pose, on your side, to do some hip stuff, you can lift and lower the leg. Nice work for the hips. You can also lift, straighten, bend, and lower. Feel free to explore as we crisscross applesauce. You may notice you can point the feet to do this. You can also dorsiflex the ankles. Different feeling. Pelvis presses down. You can also let your feet completely relax. Straighten your legs out, let them rest. If you're in fetal pose, you'll roll back to your original side. You can add in the hip work on this side. For us that are prone, bend your knees, bring your legs all the way together, and we dorsiflex. So the soles of the feet are toward the ceiling. Press the pelvis down, teeny tiny lift one leg, and then the other. The butt should be working more so than the low back. If this hurts your low back, I want you to go even less. You lift like a grain of salt would be under the leg. Don't forget to breathe. Keep pressing the pelvis down, trying to stamp the ceiling above. Not really, we're not going that high. We have a very low ceiling. One more with each leg. And we rest. Choices for rest. Crocodile pose. Just spread all the way out here. If you're in fetal, that can be a nice place to rest, or you can come back on your back. If you would like, you can bring yourself up and scoot back into child's pose. They take a couple of minutes to rest here. So prone on your belly or child's pose or fetal pose or on your back, just shavasana. Keep noticing your breath. Inhale, exhale. And please begin to come onto your mat, lying down. Support your head. Bring your left leg on top of your right. Thread the needle again. So choice is always right leg can stay down or you can draw the legs in. It's feeling very good to me lately to move a little bit. A gentle rock side to side. Finding some new sensations in the outer hip. You can do that if the leg is floating or if the leg is down. Big breath in. Big breath out. Switch sides. Full breath in. Full breath out. Release your legs. Stretch yourself out into Shavasana, adding support wherever you need or want. Any final wiggles before you surrender into the rest? Please choose to rest longer if you would like. Or take a few deep breaths, maybe in through the soles of your feet. Wiggle fingers and toes. Stretch through your arms and your legs. And roll onto your side into fetal pose. Pause here. We let the practice go. We start from this place into the rest of our day. Maybe a little more grounded, grateful for feet. Maybe a little more heart-centered. Bring yourself up to sit. Hands touch in front of your forehead. May you share good thoughts with yourself and with others. Hands to your mouth. May you share good words with yourself and with others. Hands to heart. May you share good love with yourself and with others. Thank you. Thank you for being here.